Hi guys, welcome to Make With Me Monday. My name is Robin French Smith. I'm one of the owners of Bath Fizz and Foam. And you guys have been asking about shower bombs. So let's make shower bombs today, okay? So this is a double batch of shower bombs because I wanted to have enough to show you stuff. If I did like a regular batch is pretty small, so it would have been like super quick live. Although my kids are home from school today, so I probably need to get back to my house as soon as possible because I'm going to go over there and they're going to be like, we baked something, and it's going to be like every dish in the kitchen is used. And I'm going to be like, cool, thanks guys, I appreciate it. Okay, so like I said, this is a double batch of the shower bomb recipe, and this is all the powders. I have the instructions right here. I guess I could follow the instructions, but I'm just gonna make it as if I was making bath bombs. So I'm just gonna use the same routine I would do if I was making bath bombs, which means I have my powders here. Hi Jeanette. Jeanette says hi. Hi. So I have my powders here. I'm gonna mix in my liquid ingredients right now, and I'm just gonna do it by hand today, just because I don't know why. I did it by hand. I did my face-to-face Friday by hand too. I'm just in a wild, crazy, do it by hand kind of mood. So one of the things that I don't like about doing it by hand is that you're gonna suck in a lot more powder. So, and this recipe does have a lot of SLSA because it makes a really nice dense foam. So if you are sensitive to that, wear a mask if you do it by hand. But sometimes, I don't know, I haven't done it by hand in a while, and I don't want people to think like you have to have a mixer. I mean, a mixer makes your life a heck of a lot easier, but it's just like not necessary. So, oh, Jackie, we just became best friends. Or Jacques. Is that Jacques or Jackie? We just became best friends because she said that Blue October is her favorite band. And it's my favorite band too. So, we're like besties now for life. So, what are shower bombs? For you guys who don't know, shower bombs are a scrubby, foamy product that you can take into the shower with you. So it's really good for people who don't have bathtubs or don't have showers. Wait, no, they do have to have a shower. It's good for people who don't have bathtubs, or for people who say that they only take showers. That was what I was thinking. Because when I used to do farmers markets, I would always have at least one person who would come up to my booth and tell me that they don't take baths. And like, I understand that they mean that they take showers instead of baths, but that's just like a weird, you know, like, think about that. Think about how that sounds, dude. Don't say that you don't take, you know, or sometimes they'd say like, I don't bathe. Yeah, you do, right? You do bathe. You just bathe in the shower, right? So anyway, so shower bomb, it's kind of scrubby. They're going to be a little bit more delicate than a bath bomb. Not like delicate, but like they're going to be a little bit more crumbly than a bath bomb in my experience. Pretty much every shower bomb that I've had has been like that. So basically you take it into the shower. Once it gets some water on it, it gets activated, it starts foaming up. You can either use the bar itself and like scrub it on your body. It's a little too scrubby for me. My husband loves it. He thinks this is the perfect amount of scrubby. But it's too scrubby for me. So if it's too scrubby for you, you can just scrape the foam off the bar and then rinse that on your body, and it feels really good. They feel really amazing. So Cheryl says hi. Ness says hi. Jackie says Jackie. Okay. Look, I knew it was probably Jackie. I wanted to make sure. I used to work for Starbucks, and I used to be like try to be really picky about making sure I spell everybody's name right, because my name is spelled strangely, although I don't care if it's spelled wrong, you know. So I care. I'm trying to care and be like a good human and stuff. Okay, So I haven't added any binder yet, but I am going to go ahead and add my colorants. So one of the reasons I'm doing Share Bombs is people have been asking about them. One of the things that somebody pointed out, I think we didn't have any color information on them, and that's because the Shower Bombs were originally a live class, so I think we didn't have any color on them. So I think I'm going to go for my Red Obsession. Now this is a mica. It is going to be more of a pastel. I'm not going for like a deep red here, so I expect it to be like a pastel color. And I'm going to do a half a teaspoon, and remember that this is a double batch. So let's see how far that gets us. So that is a mica from Nurture Soap. It is approved for use in bath bombs. So, you know, whenever you're checking out your micas, just make sure that you're checking to see that they're approved for use in bath bombs, that they're approved for use on lips. Shower bombs are a little different because you're not going to be soaking in them, so it wouldn't have to be approved for use on lips. But, you know, just keep that in mind. Okay, so then I mixed the mica in. Now, for colorants, you could use lakes. I've used lakes before. You just have to be careful because you remember that somebody's going to be rubbing this on their body. So you don't want to put too much and then have them like dye themselves. And then I would definitely not use dyes just because, once again, somebody's going to be rubbing this on their body and you don't want to dye them. You don't want to, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, but if you've experimented with dyes and the shower bombs and it works for you, like, let us know. Tell us about that. We'd love to know. Oh, Elizabeth says that the shower bombs have a super silky feel. Yes. So yeah, you're right. They definitely do. So before Amanda's recipe, I had tried a couple other shower bomb recipes, and they either dried my skin out really bad, or it was so scrubby for me. Like, I just couldn't handle it. These are a little too scrubby for me, but not that bad. Like, I'm okay with it. I can handle it. Okay, so I added like 4 sprays of binder. I'm going to drop test it. It does pass the drop test, but it feels a little dry to me, so I'm actually going to add a little bit more binder. And Amanda suggests using, oh my god, hold on. Be quiet. Amanda suggests using half rubbing alcohol and half water as a binder, which is kind of an interesting, she had used that for years and it was really successful for her. So you guys can play around with binder and figure out what's best for you. I love to use water as my binder. And as long as you spray it in a little bit at a time, you're not going to have that like massive reaction where it just starts foaming over and it's like life ending, you know? Okay, so for molds, I have 2 molds picked out. I have this flower from Supermoon Soaps. I'm looking for, I like things that have like ridges on the edge because it makes it a little easier to hold when you're scrubbing with it. And then I have the Kata Bombshell, which I've used. That's not the right spoon. Where's my spoon? Hold on, let me find my napkin spoon. There we go. This is the wrong side of it anyway. Pretend this didn't have the rod in it. I would use this one as a, I might go grab the other one. We'll see. If this one doesn't work, we'll go grab the other one and see. So basically, now you just mold it like a bath bomb. I'm trying to make sure you guys have the best view. So I'm just going to sprinkle it in. I'm going to squish it down. Then I'm going to add more mix. Because I don't care if it floats or anything like that, I can pack it in real tight so that it doesn't crumble or anything like that on me. And let me get a scrapey. Scrapula. I'm going to scrape the bottoms flat. Now because I mixed it by hand, you can see that there's like little, I don't know if you can see, but there are like little tiny spots in there. Okay, because I mixed it by hand. If I'd mixed it in my mixer, the blend would have been, you know, a lot more even. So that is something to keep in mind. Okay. So there you go. I nicked it a little bit when I was lifting it up, but other than that, it looks good. Yeah, I think I'll do the rest as the flower. If I was going to do the, so this is the top of the bombshell mold. If I was going to do the bottom of the bombshell mold, which thought I had grabbed, but I didn't. Same concept where you fill it in and then you turn it over and you just give it a few good healthy whacks and you get a bath bomb and or thing. Oh my gosh, you guys say that it's freezing? I'm sorry. It's very cold here as well. It's been in the 60s, even the 40s. It's like so cold. I'm joking. I'm joking. Don't start hating me for that. I lived in Alaska. I do definitely understand cold. But Houston is so wet that even a slight amount of cold is really miserable because it like seeps in between your clothing layers and it's like damp and you can never get warm. Have you guys ever watched Alone? The one where like they're like wilderness survivors and they have to go survive alone. Is the premise. That one was perfect. So there was one episode of Alone where they were like in the I think it was the Northwest Territory of Canada, and they just kept complaining about the wet. And like it was cold that they're like, I should be able to handle this cold, but the wet is just, it makes it so miserable and so impossible. So humid cold I think is way worse. Like I would rather be in Alaska cold at -40 or -30. I don't like negative 30 is okay, I can handle that. But like Houston, chilly at 50 where it's like 85% humidity, no, I don't want that. I don't like it. I don't want it. Okay, so Amanda says, Nessa says that she's confused. Amanda says put it in a sealed container after use, dry it out, put it in the container, keep it dry, blah, 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 blah. Because I can't read the rest of it, sorry. Not saying that you're blogging. So yeah. So, back to the shower bomb, which is actually the point of this, right? My bad. So yeah, after you use it, you're not going to use the whole shower, depending on the size of it, right? After you use it, you're not going to use the whole shower bomb in one go. And you can, I have set it just on the side of my tub, like on a soap dish, and let it dry out. And it was fine. And then you can reuse it for multiple showers. Obviously it's like, you know, the way with soap, how like if you rub soap on your body, then it goes away faster or it dissolves faster. So kind of the same concept with this. If you're using it to scrub your whole body, then you're going to get less uses out of it, but you will get multiple uses, versus like what I like to do, where I just get it a little bit wet, scrape the foam off of it, put it all over my body because it's like mousse. It feels so good. And then rinse it. And then I just like set it on a soap dish on the side of the tub and it dries out and it's good to go. I can use it again multiple times. So yes, you can use a whole bunch of time. You can use multiple times if you want. It's really up to you. Somebody said that these are huge. They are very big. I did another one. I've done shower bombs one other time in a live, and I used a chunk of dust mold called the Chunk of Dust Multi Mini, and they're like 1 inch by 1 inch cubes. And those I have in my shower for personal use because it's like a single serving size. And so I'll take it in the shower, crush it, get it all foamy, and then do it on my body. That way I'm not taking the whole bar in. So that is another option if you are, you know, concerned about saving it and all that stuff. So that is another thing that I did, and I don't remember when I did that live. It was a long heckin' time ago. Shelly says, where's this recipe? It's on our website, bathfizandfoam.com, but I will include a link to the description. I'll include a link to the recipe in the description of this video. I will include a link. I'll also include a link to this mold if you guys are interested in this mold. It's super cute from Supermoon. Look what I did, meta. And I'll include a link to the colorant if you like. So it was My Red Obsession, I believe, from Nurture Soap, and it was a mica. Like I said, the last shower bombs I made, I used lakes. So you can use lakes, you can use micas. I wouldn't suggest using dyes, but if you want to try it, if you want to give it a go for it. Let us know what happens. I wouldn't do it, but I mean, some people love dyes, and if that's the only colorant you have, you know. Do we need to add a preservative since it'll stay in the shower? You don't need to add a preservative. The acidity and the pH of bath bombs and therefore shower steamers is high enough that it doesn't have, you know, it's not a good place for bacteria to grow. They're not interested in growing on bath bombs or shower steamers, shower bombs. Let's make that guy too. Oh well. So you don't need a preservative. If you wanted to add a preservative, you could. I have never done that. And then you would have to look up a preservative that could handle the pH of it, because you know different preservatives have different pH ranges where they work. So if you're really concerned about it, you could do that. I just have never done it and I've never had an issue with it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And then I'll just show you guys really quick. I'm gonna pour some water in here so you can see like how foamy was it. It's like super foamy. It gets super foamy and it just keeps building that foam. You can see it's getting bigger and bigger, and it's really pretty. So basically, I mean, and the foam just keeps going for days. I mean, it's like I said, it's like mousse almost, okay? So basically you could either take the whole shower bomb, take it in the shower, scrub it on your body if you wanted like a scrubby experience. Or you could get it wet like I do and then scrape this really delicious foam off of it and then rub that on your body. There's still some scrubbiness to it that way, but you get that like really silky mousse feel. It's very moisturizing and really, really nice. So, and you can see the foam is just, it keeps building. So that's one of the really cool things about this. The foam is just going to keep going. You have foam for days off of one. So that, like I said, that was a double batch, and these are big. I can weigh one of these real quick and tell you how much they weigh. They are, these are 5.75 ounces. They'll probably lose a little bit of weight as they emit gas and that water evaporates out of them, but that's pretty much it. And yeah, I will include links at the top if you guys are interested in finding this recipe or any of the things that I used in this. And that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today and joining, and as always, happy making. You.